And we're live. What is this, Lady Ada?
Hello, we're here again. This is our second show and tell of the day. This is our kind of classic show and tell. We just finished up our TE My Mini race car show and tell, and people showed off all their really cool race cars. And now, if you want to show off your race car again, come by. But this is for any maker, crafter, hacker, engineer, whatever it is that you're building. Come on by and show us. It's me, Lady Ada, here with Mr. Lady Ada, and our special guest engineer from TE, Judith Hazel, who works on really, really fast electric cars, which is super cool. Yeah. But let's see what you guys are up to.
Before we get started, if Chris, if you're here, can you let me go to your video? Can you unmute your mic, Chris, and turn on your video? I wanted to wish you a happy birthday before you even get started.
I think he's working on it.
I think he's working on it. Well, when we see Chris's audio and video, we're going to immediately stop what we're doing and sing Chris happy birthday.
Yeah.
All right. So, here we go. All right. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
No audio yet.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
I think he's getting there. Well, as soon as I can hear Chris, I'm going to say happy birthday, then we're all going to sing. So everybody get ready to unmute your mics.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
I hope Chris Young is like, this is so embarrassing. I'm going to laugh.
All right. So I think this is the first time
I had the wrong webcam selected, so I had to set it up. Can you see me and hear me now?
Yeah.
Sound great.
All right. Well, if you didn't want happy birthday song, you can sing. All right. So unmute your mics, everyone. Let's try to do this out.
Okay, ready? Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Chris.
All I can say is, don't quit your day jobs.
Cacophony.
Yeah, the more can sing the new song.
That's all I can do.
Okay, everybody unmute your mics. Chris will sing you happy birthday next year, but we'll get to you in just another minute. Scott.
All right, take it off for Scott.
Scott, unmute your mic and show us your project.
Okay, that was exciting.
Yes.
I like how it like blinked back and forth between all the people singing. Okay, thing I've been working on is continuous testing for code on microcontrollers. So let me do a screen share. And on that screen share, I actually have a separate camera. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Ooh, good work.
Oh, there's my email to you. Let me switch to something else.
I just tried to reply to my own email.
Yeah, so this is actually under my desk. There's my foot. So it's just like mounted to my desk. It's super complicated overhead. But what we've got here is we've got upcoming boards, Trinket and Gemma, along with the Feather M0 Express. And they're currently all yellow because they are unhappy. One of the tests actually hits the safe mode. And that's what the yellow light is telling me. But if in this window, I can view the log of the test and you can see that it had some issues. And then if I go here, I can actually rerun it. So if I rerun it, we should see some blinky lights. And what it's doing is, this is what would happen after Travis does all the builds and stuff. And if that works out, this will pull down all of the binaries, go into the bootloader, flash the new stuff, and then try to run all of the tests on the code.
So this is a regression testing for Python, but with hardware.
Yeah, like on the hardware itself. And the hope is that I can also get it so all of our like Arduino sample code and Arduino libraries can be tested as well automatically. And what happens is that on GitHub, it shows up, you either get a green check or a red X next to your commits. And you can see here that it says, oh, one of your tests fails. And eventually this details link will go to something useful. Right now it doesn't. That's one thing I still have to do.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott. This is going to be very helpful and useful.
I love it's hardware, fixing hardware.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it like tests are good because it means that you can have confidence that your code actually works.
All right.
Which is always good.
Yay.
All right. Thank you so much, Scott. Next up, Phil B. Phil B. What you got going on?
Oh, hello there. I have NeoPixels, which, in itself is nothing special. We've all seen NeoPixels. But, if you've used them a lot, you may have found they don't walk and chew gum very well. You're doing NeoPixels. Things like your servos can glitch or your sound makes bad noises. So we have a new library. There's a new guide to go with it on the learning system for M0 microcontrollers like the Feather M0 or Circuit Playground Express in this case. And it's using SPI DMA, which is a new feature on the M0 boards. And it's using that to talk to the NeoPixels, which kind of gives us all the rest of the processor time to do those things that we normally don't get to do, like keeping servos, consistently updated, or keeping sound playing the right tune, things like that. So it's there, it's live, and if you have one of the boards, and if you've been encountering those kinds of problems, check it out.
Yeah, so this is for the M0 processor, so that includes the Circuit Playground Express, the Arduino 0, Feather M0.
New Trinket, new gem coming out.
New gem, anything with ETSAM D21s on them.
Yep.
Can take advantage of this fancy DMA.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool.
Rock out. Thank you so much.
You bet.
Next up, birthday boy, Chris Young. How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Hey.
Thanks for the birthday wishes. As you know, about 7 months ago, I was in the hospital, and we weren't sure we were going to make it to this birthday, and so this is always a big milestone. Also looking forward to your special guest tonight on the Ask an Engineer. As you know, I live in Indianapolis, just a couple of blocks from the Speedway, and I routinely drive by Andretti Autosport just north of here, a couple of miles.
Really cool.
So I'm all anxious to hear about the electronic versions of Andretti racing, but being familiar with the other forms. But I'm here tonight to say that I published a learning guide today on how to use infrared on the Circuit Playground Express. And the Circuit Playground library, we incorporated in my IRlib2 as part of the Circuit Playground library. And we got that working. And so I wrote a tutorial that explains how to do all that. And it's available at learn.adafruit.com right now. So go have at it, people.
Yay!
All right. Well, thank you, Chris, and thank you for not only sharing your work, but always doing open source and more. Chris always sends me excellent links about open source projects that keep me busy on the blog, so thank you for that.
All right.
All right.
That's for tonight.
Have a good rest of your
Thanks,
birthday today. Okay, next up, Engineer Hazel. Hazel,
Hazel,
how's it going? Hazel, I'm
quick,
your mic.
quick.
I'm here.
All right,
Hi, Hazel.
what project you got this week?
So for Father's Day, I made this bowl on Tinkercad. I know it looks like all gibberish and things for you.
Wow, that's cool. I like that it sparkles.
Yeah, it says "Daddy is awesome."
Okay, good.
Okay.
And then your update for your horn.
And the update for my horn.
Yep.
So I have a unicorn horn in elastic, and so what I did is let me take this unicorn horn out. So there's these tabs, and so it's sewed on two sides, which I did myself. And we cut I cut a slit right here and sewed the edges so it wouldn't come undone. And then you just stick the unicorn horn in there. It's elastic, so you can put it around your head.
And you can wear it all the time.
A unicorn.
Yay! And then you can put the LEDs in it, and you don't have to hold it up all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Big improvement.
That's good.
Yeah, we updated this to have the trinket with the battery backpack, and we got a diffuser here to make it.
Oh, that's nice.
Ooh, that is nice looking.
And then that's the next step is getting that on the stage.
Okay.
All right.
Good work, Hazel.
Outstanding work, Hazel. Send an email to support@adafruit.com. We'll send you out another as seen on the show and tell sticker. And I agree at the bowl. Your dad's pretty awesome.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Bye. Okay, next up, Stuart. Stuart, I'm your project.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you sound great.
Okay, let me see. I can't see the video.
We can see you.
Oh, okay, good. I can't see whether I'm aiming at. But here in Florida, we have a water softener. It has salt in it, so we have
I
to
have one of those in Florida.
keep it full. The tank. This is the tank here.
Yeah.
So what I did was made a monitor to keep track of the level. Underneath, you can see a sonar. Victor, I think you can see it.
Yeah, no, I see the two sensors. Okay.
Right, and there's a salt level. There's the salt down there.
Hmm.
So here is the. I'm trying to guide it so you can see it. Okay, so here's the monitor here. Okay, you can see it. So right now it's at medium height. So the LED is blue, and the red light is blinking slow. There's also an audible alert here, which is on and off. Whenever the salt level goes low, this audible alert will go off. This will turn red. And of course, this won't say medium, it'll say low, and then it'll flash. You need to fill up the salt. I'm playing around with power sources right now. I have a 18650 battery right here. Once I settle that, then I'll make a 3D enclosure for it to make it look a little better. But that's what it looks like. For instance, when it's low, it'll sound like this.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see the monitor there.
That's
it
cool.
says add salt.
In the chat, they
Low
say
salt level.
you can use Adafruit IO, and if they use that to get into notifications.
Yeah, that's what I have to do next.
Okay. Yes. Wait, is it
There we go.
speaking?
I'm sorry?
Is it speaking?
No, I didn't add that yet.
Okay, sorry.
All right, Stuart. Well, if you and your water softener want an I've seen on the show and tell sticker, just email support@adafruit.com.
Well, look at your
I
workshop.
think you got the first water softener show and tell sticker.
Yeah.
You know, I'm from Inverness, which no one's ever heard of in Citrus County. Did you ever hear of that in Florida? Inverness?
Yes.
You did?
Yes, I have.
Are you just making me feel good because no one's ever heard of it?
No. I had a friend of mine who lived down there and worked with a couple years ago.
Oh, wow. Great. Well, thank you so much, Stuart. Yay, Floridians.
All right.
I'll send you out a sticker. Just email support@adafruit.com.
Stay cool.
Okay, appreciate it.
Okay.
Thanks, Stuart. Come by next week.
Next up, Adam. How you doing, Adam?
Hey,
I'm
Adam.
doing really good. Got a lot of progress done this week. I actually powered the unit up for the first time, pulled it straight to high vacuum, went for high voltage enable, and then immediately ran into a couple of different problems, and I'll talk about those. The first one is that this is the relay that turns the entire microscope on. If you look closely at this relay, it's a chard.
Yeah.
Nice,
Oh, yeah.
Nice camera work this week,
Nice
by the
camera
way.
work,
Adam,
yeah.
you have a really nice camera right now.
What?
Your camera's looking really good this week, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah, I also ran Ethernet cable out here this week.
Yay.
But so you look at this as chard. Now, this is a 15 amp relay on a 15 amp fuse, and it still looks this nasty. And if I get the plastic case out, it's left some really nice residue all over this thing. So this thing is dead. I have a second unit, has another relay, but this relay is showing early signs of that sort of failure on it. And they did actually smell it this time, so got some new wire. I'm going to rebuild the relay because the coils and contactors actually look fairly good on this one. But so after looking at this, that's the first thing I found. The second thing I found was that this thing draws way more amperage than it says it does, okay? The manual said without the vacuum pump running, it should be 7.5 amps. Well, I'm running it on an extension cord right now that I can run up to 11 amps and not get any voltage drop. At this point, I'm getting 7 volts of voltage drop, which brings me under the minimum operating specification, which means this thing's drawing a lot more current than the manual said it did. So that brings me to the other thing I've been doing this week. And this is going to be screen sharing. So picked up 125 feet of 4 different conductors of THWN, 8 gauge. So I'm going to get 40 amp 220 service, so 120 amps, so 80 amps and 120 amps to my shop. And to do that up to code in Washington, I have to bury it in about 100 feet of conduit at 18 inches. So I've been digging the trench, which is so much fun to do. So took the grass off the top, put the dirt on the tarp, and that's about half the trench right there. But this is going to let me run exactly to code a lot of power out here, so I have enough power to actually run the microscope. Because it's kind of disappointing when you get to the point where you can run the microscope, and then you discover you have way too much voltage drop to be reasonable to use.
Yeah, you don't want to move the microscope closer to the power source either, so wires.
Well, I mean, it wasn't my garage originally, and so the shop's on our property. It's just further away from the garage and further away from the panel. So I was running extension cords out here, and I had 3 different extension cords because I had to keep just to keep my amperage down to where I wasn't going to get voltage drop. But this thing draws more than the manual said it did, and I didn't have a good way to measure its amperage before I started. So measuring voltage drop kind of told me I had an issue going on. So once I discovered that, I had to pretty much stop everything, go out, buy wire, buy conduit, dig a trench, and then hopefully I'll be able to finish getting the conduit and wire in the trench today, get it inspected, and then get the panel installed the day after. So I'll hopefully be able to power this thing back up again. I'm really, really close, and it's kind of annoying to have to stop everything and do this whole nother project just to get this thing to start. But it's
before you actually go, before you fill up the trench, since you have the conductor separated, you can get clamp-on current meters.
The trench is going to be filled before I get the panel installed in the garage.
Okay.
So, but no, one of my thoughts is you can get
like somewhere, and then you can measure the current draw.
Yeah, no. What I'm intending to do is you can get the inline plug-in clamp-on adapters. So it's I think they're available on I forget where I saw them, probably Master. But so you plug an extension cord into one side, and you plug the device under test on the other, and you can clamp onto this kind of extender that's got 2 loops in it. So that's the next thing to happen. But once I'm going to have 2 20 amp circuits out here, and 20 amps is more than enough to run it. And I ran it in my garage on a 20 amp circuit. No problem.
You only have 10 or 15. You're even though it's just because it's farther.
Just because I'm on that extension cord, and that extension cord isn't a 10 gauge cord, it's a 12 gauge cord. At 100 feet, you can only run like 11.5 amps without voltage draws. So I'm really close to that for the amount of loss I'm getting.
Okay.
Which isn't optimal. So
I know, but now it's a trench digging time. Okay,
yeah.
Well, you know.
Well,
yeah, I mean it's almost there. It'll be done by Friday, hopefully. So.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. We should sell little shovels in the store next. You get 3D print a shovel.
You know, what's funny is like I built a 8 gauge extension cord. You saw that welding setup that I have at home.
Yeah.
It's totally not to code, but we made an extension cord anyway.
Okay. Well, this is excellent for the backyard CERN that I heard a rumor that you're building. Okay, Adam. Well, email support@adafruit.com, and we'll send you an SE and show and tell sticker for your shovel.
Thank you.
All right.
Pretty quickly.
Yeah. All right, Bill, take us out. If you can keep it 5 minutes.
Absolutely. Absolutely, I can. In fact, this is a secondary one that I wasn't planning on sharing today, but I'm here, so I might as well. I'm going to switch to a different camera, again. So this is actually something that I made a few weeks ago. It is 3D printed, and it is a head turner. So this is for folks who are on their backs in bed and have trouble turning their head left and right. And I made this. There was a design for one based on pipes and stuff, but I have a 3D printer, so I put bearings in it, made tracks on the back, and this thing works really, really well. I brought it to the SMA conference 2 weeks ago. The problem is I can't quite share these files yet on Thingiverse because right now I'm only sharing it with OTs and occupational therapists and physical therapists because it's really slippery. It's really slick. And if you give it to somebody who doesn't have adequate head control, they probably could hurt themselves. So it is really neat. I think it is a really neat 3D design to just be able to I mean, everything's printed except for the bearings, right? Even the spindles are. And I would love to share this and make it available to other parts of the community. But I think I probably need some more testing and probably a liability lawyer before I do that.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's like this is one of the few things that yeah, it's assistive, but it's very useful, so it'll get used. Yep. Yeah.
But it just from a design standpoint, I think it's amazing that you can make that out of 2 parts, right? It's essentially just 2 parts, and it solves a huge problem for these folks.
That's really cool. All right, Bill. Well, emails, you get a sticker, of course. We just had one other person come in. John, if you can keep it to like 2 minutes-ish, we can get to you.
Hey, John K.
Hey, John. Oh, John, can you unmute your mic?
No, we can't hear you.
We can't hear you, but if you show your project, we can do maker charades. If you hold it up, we can guess what you're showing. I see a rabbit in the background. That looks like an Energizer bunny. I see. No, we still can't hear you. Do you want to stop back next week, John?
There's like a 3D printer in the back.
Yeah.
He's got that cool mixing board.
Yeah. All right. He's going to go away.
Wait, he's got a rocket or something.
Yeah. Okay. We're going to do maker charades. First project.
Whoa, this looks like a really old control panel.
Yeah.
What is it for? Is it like a...
It looks like it was like a suitcasey thing. Is this for like a space
shuttle? It's like a seismographer or something? Maybe?
Yeah.
Like it looks like it.
Yeah, if you hold it up, we can figure it out. Okay, there's a little roller.
What's the rolling part? I don't know what this is.
Oh wow. Okay.
Okay, but he's got.
It's a carrying case for all your electronics.
Oh, it's like for your synth. It's like a little synth board.
Yeah.
And there's like an audio, like some pots there, and there's a speaker, and there's. I think that's like.
It's
frequency.
like a 101 electronics project.
And I think he built the.
Yeah, you built the whole thing.
The
with
grid,
the 80,
too.
What is it?
It's like 80/20, but this
80/20.
is like open beam or something.
Oh, this is really cool. Okay, I think we guessed what it was. But of course, come back next week, John, if you want. And you.
Maybe they're dual VCOs or something.
Yeah.
Too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're pretty close. I think this is a project case that you can keep all of your projects in. And then you plug it into there, and he has all these.
It's like a panel synth, but like it's a smaller Moog. It's a Moog but teeny.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's what I'm guessing.
I think we did pretty good on making charades. Yeah, I think that's much stuff.
There's
There's
like
batteries.
lots of stuff on the back.
Yeah, it's a launch control pad.
Very cool looking.
Okay. All right, John.
Come back next week.
All good. I think we did pretty good with maker charades.
I think that's fine.
All right. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, Scott. Thank you, Phil B. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Scott's cat.
Thank you, Hazel and Avery. Happy birthday, Chris. Thank you, Bill. And thank you, Adam. We'll see everybody next week. Ask an Engineer starts in a few minutes. Thanks for making this the best half an hour of our lives every week.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.